Okay, we're live. So, good morning, everyone. It's around noon. So today we're going to have a very special webinar. It's called Systematic Wealth Creation with AI, and I'm going to try something new. I'm going to activate the voice-to-text application on Google so that you can actually see what I'm saying, and we're going to build this
sounds like an interesting webinar topic. Using Google's voice to text.
We're going to build one Google document at a time, a system that you can use in order to create wealth, in order to create a business that generates cash flow. So we're not talking about just making money. We're talking about assets. We're talking about how you can systematically use AI to create wealth for yourself and for your family. So let me just activate the voice typing. So today we are going to create step by step all the Google documents and all the templates and processes and procedures that will allow you to literally from scratch create your online business. At the beginning, it's going to be a very humble and very modest business, but that's okay. You just want to create a business that actually works, and after that you can scale up. So the first thing that you need to set up a business is a product, a digital product. The second thing that you need is a target market, because you want to focus your marketing and sales efforts towards reaching that target market. This Google voice typing is amazing, by the way, and it's an example of how people should really start to use existing AI. This is a very simple speech recognition program that is available for free. You know, I used to use a commercial speech-to-text application called Dragon Naturally Speaking, and it cost around $300, but now Google is giving it away for free, so I just don't understand why people are not using it. Alright, so in terms of creating a digital product, you have different scenarios depending on your situation. Number one, you have a digital product for sale. Number two, you do not have a digital product. If you don't have a digital product, then you have the following option. Buy a digital product that comes with resale rights or master resale rights. Create a digital product by yourself based on your experience or your expertise, or based on other people's information or knowledge or products. Remember, by the way, that this is a systematic process. So the options that you get here are mutually exclusive and comprehensively exhaustive. This is the process used by consultants at the famous consulting firm McKinsey, and this allows them to cover all the possible scenarios. Mutually exclusive simply means that you can choose choice A or B. You cannot choose both of them. Comprehensively exhaustive simply means that we cover all the possible scenarios. You're getting this ebook, which is a hyperbook, because depending on what links you're clicking on, it's going to take you to the right page. And this is what we mean by systematic method for creating wealth. If you decide to buy a digital product that comes with resale rights or master resale rights, you need to understand the difference between the two types of rights. Resale rights means that you sign an agreement with the seller, and after you purchase the digital product, you have the non-exclusive right to sell the digital product and pocket 100% of the profits. But your customers do not receive the same resale rights. Master resale rights means that the right to resell the digital product automatically comes with the digital product, and the conditions and the terms are included inside of the digital product, whether it's an ebook or video course or software program. Master resale rights means that your customers also automatically receive the right to resell the product. Products with master resale rights typically are more expensive because they are easier to sell and make a profit from, since all buyers will automatically receive the resale rights. So now that you understand these two different types of rights, you can select one type of digital product that you can buy and resell. It can be an ebook, it can be a video course, it can be a collection of video tutorials of 5 to 15 minutes, it can be an audio course in the form of MP3 files that people can listen to while they're commuting or driving or walking. It can be a PDF document. Either in PDF format or Kindle format, so that you can sell it on Amazon, which has a worldwide audience. That users and buyers can fill out. That users and buyers can fill out. It can be a software program. It can be a web application. It can be a video game. There are literally hundreds of digital product formats, and it's up to you to choose the format that resonates with you. So assuming that you've selected a digital product to sell, next you need to clearly define your target market. And here you need to segment the market, because the smaller your segment, the more you'll be able to understand them, and you will create marketing campaigns that resonate with them so that they will buy your digital product. Digital marketing basically involves a sales funnel, and this funnel approach means that you attract people who are aware of the existence of your product and the existence of the problem that your product is solving. Next, you create content so as to increase their interest in your product. Next, you use sales copy that is emotional and psychological to trigger their desire, because being interested is not strong enough. And next, you write a call to action so that they can purchase the product, or they can at least attend a webinar or presentation, a pre-recorded presentation, so that you can give them more information about your product. So this is what they call the sales funnel, and it has 4 phases summarized by the acronym AIDA, which stands for attention, interest, desire, action. So now that you basically understand digital marketing and the sales funnel, you can start to identify the source of traffic. In other words, this is a platform or a media where your customers are coming from. And so you have to begin to construct the avatar. And this means the profile of the typical buyer of your digital product. If you bought your digital product from a digital product creator, then chances are he will give you a profile of the typical buyer of the digital product, because he has had experience selling, reaching out to and selling to this target market. But to recapitulate what we've learned so far, in order to make money with artificial intelligence, you need to have a digital product, and you need to know clearly the target market. In other words, you need to know the type of people who have the problem that your digital product is solving. Now let's explore the case where you're creating a digital product by yourself based on your expertise and your experience. Here we have to use the FARM framework, or FARM. And this framework allows us to extract useful knowledge from your head so that we can package this knowledge in the form of ebooks or diagrams, manuals, workshops, Zoom webinars, blueprints, software programs, etc. So let's say that you're a successful investor and you've achieved phenomenal returns from your value investing and also from your crypto investing, and you want to sell your valuable investing knowledge with the world. And of course, there are over 1 billion professionals on LinkedIn who would love to learn how to invest their money, because making money is one thing, but growing one's money is a different thing, and most people don't have a technical background in finance. So the first step that you want to take is to write a title for your ebook. You want to take is to propose a title for your ebook or video course. But we'll start with an ebook because that's the easiest way, and after that you can easily create a video course. But before we propose a few titles for your investing ebook, we have to understand that it doesn't matter how much you know about investing. You can even be Warren Buffett and not make as much money from writing and selling an ebook as a junior value investor who has only 5 years of experience. In other words, it's not the amount of knowledge that you have in your head. What is important, commercially speaking, is that you clearly identify the knowledge that you have, which is wanted and needed. I would even say desperately needed by your target market. And so your ebook is not meant to share all of your investing knowledge. You have to focus on a specific piece of knowledge that is wanted by your target market. And coming up with potential titles for your ebook is a great way to evaluate different directions or different ebook formats. So for example, you can have a title like How to Read Financial Statements. And in this ebook, you would explain how a person can read a balance sheet, an income statement, and the cash flow statement. These are the 3 standard financial statements that people are reading before they decide to invest in a company. But you would go beyond how to read an income statement because you've had experience investing in certain stocks where you've made a 2-digit return on investment. So it's not just a matter of teaching the reader how to understand the financial metrics used by a corporation. You actually add your personal journey and the mistakes you've made and the lessons you've learned. But the main thing that the reader is getting is that he becomes literate about how to read financial statements and how to understand the different items in a income statement, for example. Another approach would be for your book title to be How to Think Like a Value Investor. So here you can borrow the writings and the teachings of Warren Buffett, and you would explain what value investing is and how it's different from day trading or cryptocurrency trading or growth investing. So based on the different titles that you're proposing, then you can think about them and you can choose the best title for your investing book. Okay, so now we can use the framework FARM to really structure your knowledge into intellectual capital and intellectual property. Intellectual property simply means that you have an ebook or a video course and you own the copyright. That's why we call it property. Nobody can infringe upon your copyright. Nobody can make a copy of your ebook or video course and sell it online. Otherwise, they would face a severe fine or they would go to jail. Of course, if they come from China or India, well, then they can make a copy of your ebook and sell it, and there's no way for you to use legal enforcement to sue them. But piracy is something we have to accept. But of course, inside of your ebook, even if it's pirated in China or India or in other countries, you can include affiliate links, so you can still make money. Ebook or video course, you can include affiliate links, so you will still make money from your affiliate traffic even if your ebooks and video courses are pirated in other countries. Okay, so let's take a look at the FARM framework. One of the critical things to understand if you want to become a good teacher, and I have 20 years of experience as a course developer and teacher, is that you've got to create a framework or a recipe or an acronym that makes it easy for your students to quickly have a foundational understanding of the topic you're teaching. So think of a framework as the metal frame of a building. When you go out in the street and you look at any building, if it doesn't have a metal frame, then the building will not be as robust. And so you have to come up with a creative and original and memorable framework that captures the essence of your teachings, the essence of your success. So for example, value investing is a framework of about 8 to 10 principles that value investors will follow diligently if they are to make money over time, like Warren Buffett or Benjamin Graham. So a framework can be a list of 5 to 10 principles that people have to religiously follow. A framework can also be a kind of recipe or a methodology in 5 to 10 steps. But basically the framework is the signature of your teaching program. Robert Kiyosaki, for example, came up with the book The Cash Flow Quadrant, and that's where he explains the 4 different ways in which people make money: employees, self-employed professionals, business owners, investors. So based on that cash flow quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki can provide all kinds of knowledge and tools and techniques because he's got a very solid and robust framework. I was helping a friend to write an ebook that was targeting single men, and her ebook was called Cracking the Female Code. And while I was reading her manuscript before she put it up for sale on Amazon, I used the FARM framework, FARM, to quickly create an acronym. And this acronym basically would allow me to teach everything that she's writing in her book, but it would allow me to even go beyond what she's writing in her book, and that's the power of a framework. So for example, I identified the 4 pillars of manhood, and these pillars would allow men to become much more attractive to women. The first pillar is the man. The second pillar is the approach. The third pillar is the romance, and the fourth pillar is the future. The third pillar is the romance, and the fourth pillar is the future. So briefly, because this is not about my seduction ebook, the pillar called the man simply refers to the fact that women prefer a man who is competent, who is mature, who is emotionally stable, who is smart, successful. So to attract women, you have to become the man. You have to become competent, mature, financially stable, or very successful. The second pillar, of course, is the approach. It doesn't matter how smart or competent you are, you must learn how to talk to women. You must learn how to engage in a conversation. So that's the approach, the pickup line, so to speak. The third pillar has to do with romance. You have to be able to travel. You have to be able to organize activities during the dating phase so that women get excited. It's about being romantic in the initial phase of the courtship. And the final phase, if you're serious and if you are at a certain stage in your life and the woman is in a similar situation, then you want to talk about the future. You want to talk about family, children. You want to show to the woman that you're the kind of man who is serious and who is capable of commitment. So anyways, these are the four pillars of manhood, and it's just showing you that in a few minutes I was able to take a book by my friend and create this framework, which would allow me, if I wanted to, it would allow me to give a workshop on this topic, how to approach and seduce women. And so the framework is super important. The second criteria is that you've got to have a list of specific actions that you're going to teach your students and readers. It's not very useful to talk about abstract academic principles and concepts. You actually have to remember the actions that you took in order to produce your successful results. And these actions have to be sequenced one after the other. So what is action number one? What is action number two? Etc. The next item is the results. You've got to be able to promise to your students that they're going to get predictable results after they follow your training, your workshop, your webinar. And this is really important because it is the result that will motivate them to buy your ebook or your video course. It doesn't have to be a big result. It can just be a stepping stone result where they can actually feel the progress. So for example, when I teach calligraphy one-on-one or in a small group, I don't promise that they're going to become a master calligrapher because it took me 20 years. And I don't promise that they're going to learn all the different calligraphy styles because there are basically 5 main styles. I promise them only that they will become proficient in italic calligraphy, which is one style that was created during the Italian Renaissance. I promise them that they will become proficient in italic calligraphy, which is one style that emerged during the Italian Renaissance, and also that they will be able to spot their own mistakes so that they can practice and improve without needing me as their teacher. And I make that promise after 5 sessions of 2 hours, and I was charging $60 an hour. So you have to promise a specific result. And finally, you have to give them a method or a system so that they can monitor and manage their results and adjust their process. And this is the letter M in the framework, FARM, F-A-R-M. So FARM is a special framework that has never been taught or published anywhere. And once you understand how to use this framework, you can identify the knowledge that you have which you can teach to other people. So it's not about having information in your head. It's not about knowing, for example, which AI tool or platform to use, although that information is useful. If you want to make money with knowledge, you have to go through the FARM framework, FARM, so that you can extract valuable knowledge from your head, from your experience, and structure it in a way that makes it easy for people to learn and apply and obtain similar results to yours. Now, of course, as a student, they will never get the same results that you're getting as a master or as a teacher. And so in addition to selling your ebook, you can sell a membership where they could pay you $20 per month, and they will be able to ask you questions, and maybe they can attend Zoom sessions, and you can create one Zoom session per month where you're answering all the questions from your ebook readers. So friends, there you have it. I just gave you an extremely powerful method for extracting valuable knowledge in your head. And this is something that, by the way, 99.9% of the 1 billion users of LinkedIn do not know. And I know this because when I look at their LinkedIn profile, they're not selling any ebook, they're not selling any video course. The knowledge that they have is trapped in their head, and that's why they are forced to work for a living. But once you learn, as I've described above, how you can extract your valuable knowledge so that it becomes knowledge in the world, and it is available through ebooks and video courses and software programs, then you can just sit back and you can just sell digital products, and you will generate passive income. This is something that nobody has told you and nobody has taught you, and I hope that you can see the immense profits that you can make from creating and selling digital products that capture your valuable knowledge. Look, you've worked really hard to get your knowledge, right? You spent years to develop your knowledge and skills, and now is payback time. But you really have to shift to a new mindset where you extract and you export your knowledge into an ebook or a video course. I know so many smart people who are very successful, but it never occurred to them to teach what they know, and therefore they're losing a lot of money. The irony is that the more successful you are, the more money you are losing every day by not having ebooks and video courses